All right, good evening, everybody. We're going to go ahead and move our meeting into open session here at 6:39 p.m. We'll begin with our roll call. We have all board members present with us this evening. We have no report of action taken on closed session, and that will bring us to our Pledge of Allegiance. And we have a lot of great candidates in the audience tonight for me to choose from, since we don't have a student coming from one of our sites. Let's see, perhaps we'll have Dr. Perry lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Perry. Move on to our ROP report. Mr. Rose.
There's no report since the meeting is tonight. So I informed them that I will not attend, so I'll have a report for the next month meeting.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rose. That'll move us to our presentations, and we'll begin with our presentation on District of Choice. Dr. Kim, would you introduce our presenter?
Thank you, Dr. Aguilar. Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Joey Strykula, our Director of Student Services. As required by law, he is to present out to this board by a certain timeline our data as is reflected to our District of Choice applicants. In addition to that, we've done this several years now. We wanted to update this board where our district-wide enrollment stands and answer any questions that this board may have. So, Mr. Strykula, please.
Thank you, Dr. Kim. I wish I can take Dr. Rose's presentation stance here, but I can't here tonight. So I will be presenting on District of Choice, and as Dr. Kim said, we've done this every year, so definitely something you guys would be very familiar with. So as a reminder, this is our 7th year now as a district being a part of District of Choice. And remember, so it's last school year that our families apply for this school year. So for the year 2026-27, we had a total of 15 applications. Out of those 15 applications, 2 families decided not to enroll in our district. So for this school year, we ended up getting 13 new families under the District of Choice program for the 26-27,000 school year. And then through reporting purposes, students that live in our district, that surrounding districts have District of Choice, 19 of those students went to another district under District of Choice. And just some demographics here. Out of the 15 applications, not total enrollment, we have 1 American Indian Alaska Native, 2 Black African American, 10 Hispanic Latino, and 2 white. Out of the 15, 9 male, 6 female. 4 students are on an IEP. None of those students require transportation, and 4 students qualify for free and reduced lunch. We pulled for this school year out of the surrounding districts 5 total. We have 11 students that came from Covina Valley, 1 from Dougherty, 1 from Glendora, 1 all the way out from Placentia, Yorba Linda, and 1 from Walnut Valley. Again, as a reminder, and this is where the system is kind of backwards, we will start campaigning for next school year. The District of Choice window opens up this October, runs through December 31st. So again, I think the challenge here is families have to know well in advance that they want to move schools in order to apply for this. So again, we really encourage families that might possibly go to please fill out an application. We will have it on file. There's no charge, there's no harm. If they decide they do not want to attend our district, then we can pull the application. But if they don't apply before the Rose Bowl December 31st, then unfortunately they have to wait a full another year to apply for District of Choice. And then here is our 7-year total. So total applications received over our time period of being a DOC district is 296. And out of those 296, we have 78 students new to our district. You might wonder what this 137 is and why it's a big jump. So remember that year what our district did is we pulled a lot of students that were on a permit interdistrict transfer over to a DOC. That way they were mainstreamed in our school. Well, that's why you see that huge jump of 137. Before we move on to attendance, any questions on our district of choice information?
Mr. Rose.
I have a question. In the last 7 years, applicants received in the student enroll, like 137 received, only 12 were accepted into the district. That what you're saying?
Yeah, so this is an anomaly year, so it's an outlier. So what ended up happening was families on an interdistrict transfer, so every year would have to reapply for that transfer. When you're on a district of choice, once you apply and you're accepted by that district, you no longer have to reapply. So what we did that year in our district, we had a lot of students who were on permits. So district of choice was new to our district there.
okay.
So those students just applied for it. They were already our students. The paperwork shifted from a transfer permit to a district of choice application. So that's why you only see 12. So that year, really, we only accrued 12 new students.
I'm curious, in all the numbers that we accept them, are they still enrolled in school? I mean, you have that information?
Not handy, but in general, students do come and go. I know for sure we've had families that come in on a district of choice and then since have moved to a different area district
Yeah,
that leave.
good.
It depends on if you come in as you're a TK, or are you a junior or senior, have you graduated? So it varies.
So the key term here on this particular table is new, right? So just not counting already enrolled students. And then do we take a look at the net increase / decrease, hopefully increase, year by year? Obviously, for this particular year that we're reporting on, we have a net decrease of 6 in terms of the district of choice data. And where does that kind of fit in any pattern over the course of these 7 years?
Excuse me. Great question. So regardless if we're a district of choice district or not, families have the right to apply for district choice at other districts. So whether we take new students on a D or C or not, those 19 families were going to leave the district they have chosen. So you really don't look at it from that standpoint. You look at it from the students that you took in from a cost standpoint. Are they going to cost more to educate than we are going to receive an ADA? And right now, we're definitely up on we are profiting from the students coming in.
Right.
Yeah.
Great.
Great question. Yeah.
Additional questions from the board at this stage? Okay. All right. Mr. Strykula, please continue.
Okay, so now as far as enrollments goes, so again, just a reminder, we did another big TK Kinder rollout here. As we're going to see in a couple slides, really excited about our TK numbers that came in above what we projected that we thought. So that's really, really encouraging for potential future growth. So these are just some of our banners that we've had up and flyers and some stats there with some of our Google ads, our behavioral ads, Gmail ads. So we got a lot of hits, which is good. So hopefully we're seeing that advertising is resulting in new student enrollment. So here as of August 18th, so you see this column right here, that is 2 days ago. That's what our actual numbers were. The column on 25-26 is as of the last day of school last year. And you see per site, it basically gives you, are we up or down from last year's ending number? And then down the bottom right-hand total, again, it's a deficit from where we were last year, last day of school, roughly almost about 100 kiddos. Again, anticipated, right? We definitely, through declining enrollment, we're expecting that. Just breaking it down TK-wise here, again, really encouraging. We started out this summer with only 8 sections, ended up growing to a total of 10 for the highest TK numbers that we've had since TK had dropped H here to 185, so that is awesome. Every site has 2 TK classes right now. As you can see, the cap is 40, so at the majority of our sites, we're almost full across the board, so that's really, really encouraging. Elementary-wide in general, If you look at kind of the last 4 years, that progression, right, you see the bump there in the middle with the TK age dropping, and then we start to slowly but surely level off. Secondary, definitely again anticipating a drop. So last year we ended up around, what was that, 2026? So this year, as of a couple days ago, we're at 1969. And I think kind of an interesting data point you want to look at, like our Oak Knoll online program. As you can see, it kind of has dropped significantly there, and you can attribute that to the majority, if not all districts now have their own online programs, where in the past, we were one of the few that had a really strong A through G program that we can offer our families. The fact that that's a really thing everywhere, naturally those families are going to stay predominantly in their home district. So that's what we are seeing as a drop there of, roughly 25, 40 plus kiddos. Don't expect you to look at this, but basically ADA, just as a reminder, so we have enrollment, but ADA is how we're funded. So last year we ended in the high 93 percentile. As of 2 days ago, we were at 99%, which is great because it's the first part of the year. So hopefully we can stay high in that all year long, because that's ultimately where the funding comes from. And then I've shown this slide a couple of years in a row now. So we worked with a demographer a handful of years ago, Cooperative Strategies, that essentially has forecasted out future enrollment projections. And the one that, always just really sticks out to me is you look at Charter Oak High School, right? They're saying in 2032, 33, we can be down to 1,000 kiddos potentially, if the forecasts are accurate. This chart's a little more friendly on your eyes, so it's not like we are dropping off this massive cliff, but it's slowly but surely, right? We are declining. And again, it's not just a Charter Oak Unified thing, it's up and down the state of California, almost nationwide, where you do have declining enrollment that's being pretty consistent across the board. And then that was just our enrollment summary again. And questions?
All right, thank you, Mr. Strikula. Do we have any questions from the board? Mr. Rose?
I'm looking at I quickly look at the district choices and see the breakdown of the 13, are any of the, are any of the 13 enroll in K2, or what, the breakdown of 13 students?
It varies.
They're
Yeah.
not in there.
Yeah, wait, that breakdown's not in there. We do have, out of those 13, there were a handful that are elementary. I believe 5 are at the secondary level and a couple at the middle school level. Yeah, so it varies.
Okay. So they're not in K2?
We do. We have a couple TKers in there, and I want to say a first grader off the top of my head. So that's a good thing, right? So you want to catch them early, so that way you can get them here. Obviously, then we have 4 freshmen. I do remember seeing that, but that's not in the report. I can definitely get you that breakdown if you need it, or want it, I should say.
The rest of the board, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Also, had a question on I think you have it again, the last slide there, the total district enrollment over the last several years. Does this data here include TK as part of the enrollment, or is that accounted for separately?
It includes, yeah.
Okay, and so which was the first year that, because I know we kind of did it a little bit of a little early, which was our first year here with the TK?
We were 4 years ago where we dropped the age and started slowly but surely phasing them in.
So that's prior to this particular set of dates.
So that would be right about this time, the 23-24 school year. Yeah. So if you look at, yeah. Yeah, so that 23-24 school year. So about 40 plus kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So that's where during that 23, 24, we would initially have seen that those are all new students, technically, right? All of that age. And then year over year, that's capturing them at a new age that we didn't prior. But still in the context of that, with the overall district enrollment, then I guess it kind of highlights how significant any decrease might be across the other grades, because in spite of that additional enrollment at the TK level, still seeing over the last 2 years, 3, including now this year, 3 years declining at the elementaries where the TK
Yeah.
students are.
Yeah. And also as another talking point, so legally, families they're not required to enroll kiddos in TK, so they can still be in other like private preschool programs. So really kinder is what you really want to look at as far as your starting point, as far as kinder all the way through your senior year. Because if you look at our TK numbers, right, so 185 is much lower than your graduating class of 300 kiddos, right? So that's a huge gap there. So ultimately, parents legally don't have to start taking their kids to school till kinder. Some of them first grade until they're 6 years old. So that's also kind of a number you look at, how many kids progressively stay your kinder all the way through their senior year.
Additional questions, Mr. Rose?
I think you brought it up about K2 are included in this data, correct? So there are like 22, the first year, they should be in first grade, right? First or second grade.
Yeah.
So the elementary, this couple increase there, kind of like a mix. I'm just curious. I'm good.
Any additional questions or comments? Okay, seeing none, thank you very much for your
Thank
presentation,
you.
Mr. Strikula.
Dr. Aguilar, I have a
Yep,
question. In
sure.
district of choice, are we still in this program?
Yes, and also we have an item tonight for consideration for the following school year.
We keep going until, I mean, the state allow us to have this district of choice
Yeah, pending board action this evening as well.
ongoing, right? Yeah. New law. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, that will bring us to our next presentation. Oh, sorry, we actually have a discussion item here. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm skipping ahead, thank you, appreciate it. Well, it's first meeting of the school year for everybody, right? Okay, so that will bring us to our public comments, and we do have several public comments here. Our first comment this evening comes from Mr. Robert Montez.
Hello, board members. How are you? Welcome. You know, we got this big group here representing Charter Oak, and I just want to say thank you guys for coming in here every day to make these wonderful decisions. Mr. Rose, I believe that I like it when you're questioning all these things that are going on, because then they have to look for answers and where they get the money from, and they're going to make these decisions, you know, and I think that's really something that the public likes to hear. And on the other hand, I have Dr. McGuire here. I love it when she's questioning the strength of the employee. She says, I look for people with strength in management, and I think that's great because it brings in somebody with quality to Charter Oak. And I got that from the last board meeting that I wasn't here. So just so you know, I think that's great. That's what you're looking for. And Dr. Peterson, Ms. Greg Peterson, I just want to thank you for supporting the drama. And President, thank you, Superintendent, and don't forget Lori McSall, who's always taking care of us, especially at the health fair. She had everything set up for me, and I just want to say thank you for that wonderful job. And Dr. Kim, don't be a nut with that shirt, but thank you. It was a spectacular hit. Everybody liked it. And Dr. Faye Roos, you have a lot of knowledge there. You have 8 steps. So we're going to talk about that on the next one. Okay, but my time's almost going to be up. But like I said, Dr. Bond and you guys are holding it down for us, you know. Thank you guys, you know. All the board members that are here, you're coming here to make impactful decisions that affect us every day, every worker. You know, we have good quality workers here, essential workers, daycare, youth leaders, security, noon aides, bilingual aides, custodians, maintenance, plumbers, skilled maintenance, AC workers, groundskeeper, warehouse workers, instructional aides, technology, who is controlling this right now, with doing a great job. Thank you, Eric, for handling that, because it's awesome that you're doing this live feed for us. And just want to say in closing, you guys keep up the good work. And my next speech, and I understand that it was from the last meeting, so I don't expect you to answer anything on it. I just want you to hear it, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Montez. And as you alluded, appears you have a second topic?
Oh, yeah. On the other one, it's going to be, I wrote it under, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Okay. It's about the raise?
Yes.
Okay, so this is what I put down. President Robert Montes, first of all, just want to thank you, board members. We already thanked you. And again, I believe Charter Oak board members set the bar. I also believe you're responsible for the hiring. I believe step raises should be paid out. However, when you're talent classified and teacher, we're 600,000 in the hole from Carrillo, and Dr. Kim pushes a step raise to be retroactive to 25-26. This is where I have a problem. I believe if you give it to Fairuz, then you need to give it to all classified and teachers. Is this money coming from the general budget, or do we have money hidden in another account? But on the second hand, I understand Fairuz comes with a lot of experience and is very talented. So you know what? She should get her raise. But just remember, if you're going to go back to 25-26, then give it to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Montez. Our next speaker is Mr. Portillo.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So this is in regards to the minutes of the 6/18/2026 board meeting. I made a statement regarding a $750,000 payment, approval payment to the superintendent, Danny Kim. Here are the wrong statements. Dr. Aguilar, I did not speak about health benefits. I spoke about insurance. The $750,000 was for insurance, for the superintendent combined life insurance. That's quite a golden life insurance. And you also stated, Mr. Peterson, you referred to it as salary. I didn't say anything about salary. I talked about benefits. You were trying to divert the conversation as though I did not know what I was speaking of. And he does not get paid $275,000. His benefit package is $353,000. So if you look at the striped package, it says action item B, human resources, approval of amendment of the contract of the superintendent. I suggested that was a wrongful action because it did not follow proper executive compensation rules for passage. The executive office told me that there was a link and that is good enough. But the last page of that group is a screenshot of that, and you can see there was no attachment for the public to review the documents before the meeting. Therefore, I could not do so. And so it does state at that meeting, in the minutes, approval of contract. The item on the The term of agreement for employment of the district superintendent is extended to 30/31. Also, life insurance in the amount of $750,000 with 650, 100,000 goes for some sort of fund so that when he leaves, you can hire somebody else. That's highly unusual. I appreciate it that when I say something, that the minutes reflect with accuracy. And Peterson, please don't make things up. You have a habit of doing that when I speak. And you're always
Mr.
trying to
Portillo,
shut
if
me
you could
down, but
please
you
wrap
let
your
other
comment.
people speak. You do 2 yellow cards.
You're
So
speaking
I-
on the current topic, Mr. Portillo.
I'll be back on this item. $700,000 is a lot of money. When you have CSEA, you
Thank you for your
eliminated
comment, Mr.
34
Portillo.
positions at that last meeting.
Thank you for your comment, Mr. Portillo. Our next speaker is Ms. Kim Hopstein.
Is it on? Yeah. Okay. I have a fear now. Good evening, Dr. Aguilar, Dr. Kim, and members of the board. My name is Kim Hofstein, president of the Charter Oak Educators Association. I spent the summer reviewing benefit packages across LA County, and what I found was concerning. Charter Oak is the only district among 78 where administrators receive more money in family health coverage compared to teachers. Here's the reality for our members. The district invests over $32,000 annually per administrator for health coverage compared to just $24,000 per teacher. Our teachers pay $1,200 tenthly or $12,000 annually out of pocket for family Kaiser coverage while management pays nothing. In every other LA County district, teacher coverage matches administrator coverage. We'd like 100% coverage for our families as well. Healthy Charter Oak educator families make for healthy Charter Oak educators who are fully present in the classroom, which make for the best learning conditions for Charter Oak students. We know the district has the capacity to fund this. Over the last 5 years, your ending balance has grown by an average of 16% per year, a total increase of $1.6 million, despite declining enrollment. With special education funding up 40%, and additional grants available, and 4.31% in total COLA for 26-27, the resources are there. And there aren't enough increased costs from pregnancy leave to use up all that so-called pregnancy leave money. Unfortunately, we were not able to settle negotiations last year. To settle this quickly and maintain a positive relationship with the district and the union, we're hopeful that the district will bring a serious offer to our next few bargaining sessions. As a precaution, we request that you schedule bargaining dates in October to keep the process going, specifically on days that do not conflict with our parent-teacher conferences for the people on our bargaining team. Thank you for your time and for your commitment to our students and staff.
Thank you, Ms. Hopstein. Okay, that concludes our comment
Point
period
of
of the
order.
meeting.
Dr. Aguilar, point of order.
Sure, Mr. Rose.
Yeah. I noticed that when Mr. Portillo came up, I understand that during public comment, he's sending a title of 3 minutes. Just got any topic, but I know that Mr. Portillo went up and then he started passing paper around and the clock started ticking. My question is, should the 3 minutes start when the person talks?
We provide some leeway here in every case, including in Mr. Portillo's case, I believe, beyond the 3-minute timer, we allowed him to conclude his comments as well.
I just want to make sure that it's anything entitled to 3 minutes to talk. Now, I understand in the paper be passing around, can take the second off the clock. I understand that. But I just want to know if, out of fairness, is the 3 minute, the person can start talking. I mean, the person can, the clock can start when the person began to talk. And that makes sense?
Sure.
I don't know if the board agreed to this. I don't know.
Sure, we can make sure that when someone begins speaking, we can begin the timer at that time.
Okay.
Thank you,
All right,
Mr.
thank you.
All right, this will bring us to our discussion item this evening. Dr. Kim, could you please introduce any speakers we have to join us with this discussion?
All right, yeah, absolutely. So thank you, Dr. Aguilar. We are going to revisit this discussion that we've previously had with the board with regards to project labor agreements, otherwise known as community workforce agreements. There's been an interest from this board to learn and be curious about what this might be and if this is a right fit potentially for the school district. We've invited or re-invited back Mr. Glenn Gould, who is part of Orbach, Huff, and Henderson. He's come here on 2 previous occasions to educate this board on what a PLA is. In this case tonight, we've asked Glenn to come back and not so much share what it is, I think maybe a refresher of what a community workforce agreement is, but more so share with us of what to expect in terms of the process and timeline as we begin preparations to negotiate with local trades councils around a community workforce agreement. So, Glenn, can you hear us okay online?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Thank you. Can you guys hear me okay?
Let's double check the sound on our end. Give me 1 second, Glenn. Glenn, I know you're up north, but I presume you're an LA Rams fan, even though you're close to the San Francisco 49ers?
I'm actually a Raiders fan. Diehard Oakland Raiders fan, no matter where they go.
I think we might have a slight echo.
Okay.
We can hear you okay, but I think we might have a slight echo. Is there an echo when we
Okay, let me
speak?
see. Let me see if it's on my end. Did that help?
Still having that. Not sure if there might be 2 microphone devices or anything.
Let me see here. Trying to make sure everything else is closed, technology being what it is. Okay, how about that? Did that help at all?
Perhaps might you be using external speakers with your setup there?
Let me see if that's the case. I could try something else. Sorry about all this. Let me try doing this from my iPad. That might solve the problem.
Okay. Sure, yeah, feel free to try that out, or if perhaps you could consider calling in from a cell phone or any other type of audio input to the Zoom number there.
Right. Okay, let me try this.
We could, if we think it's going to take too long.
Okay, I think I can do this because
Right.
that might be the problem. All the technical problems tonight. My apologies. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. We still have an echo for some reason.
It's really weird because I'm on. Okay. Uh, let me try a cell phone. I'm sorry.
Okay, maybe we'll take
I tried
a
my
brief.
iPad. I thought that would be better than
Should we
my
take a brief
laptop.
recess? Okay. All right, I think we're going to go ahead and just take from the meeting a brief recess of about 5 minutes or so. We'll try to work on it on our end as well, see if we can correct that.
Can you guys hear me at all? Yeah, because I honestly don't know what it could be on my end because I've tried two separate devices without. Okay, thank you.
Okay, we've got Mr. Gould. We've got Mr. Gould on the phone.
All right, we're going to go ahead and resume our meeting this evening. Thank you, everybody, for your patience as we've had to address our technological challenges, but I think we have a solution, so we should be able to move forward. Glenn, are you able to hear me as I speak? Okay. Okay, great. So we will need to use one of our microphones in the house. Hopefully, everyone can hear, and I can kind of recap if we absolutely need to, but I think we'll be okay. Dr. Kim, would you like to resume?
All right. So we do have Glenn as we've introduced him. And as a reminder, Mr. Gould's going to present a reminder about what project labor agreements are, and then in turn share with us what the next steps might look like, the process and the timeline, and things that we just want to be mindful of as we are preparing for possible negotiations with our trades council. So, Glenn, if you can take it away, and we're going to put you on our little microphone here.
Okay, thank you very much. Hi, everybody. So I was trying to share my PowerPoint, and for some reason, nothing is working well tonight here. But that screen is just not coming up for some reason. And you know what? It's okay. You don't really need to see the PowerPoint. It's a pretty simple presentation, and I can just go through what we're talking about tonight. And please let me know if you have any questions as we go. So you might recall, first of all, good evening, board members. Nice to be with you again. You will recall that there have been two previous occasions where we have provided presentations to you regarding the project labor agreement idea over the last couple of years. And now we just really wanted to drill down to some of the most essential aspects of project labor agreements now that the board is, or the district, I should say, is considering implementing a project labor agreement. First, a couple of really basic terms. What is a project labor agreement? It's a pre-hire collective bargaining agreement that establishes terms and conditions of employment for specific district construction projects. Okay. Most of what the agreement is about is just managing the actual construction on the project and the hiring of labor on each project covered by the project labor agreement. The district's role actually is pretty limited on a day-to-day basis because most of it is about what's going on the ground in the construction. Now, project labor agreements have all kinds of names. Sometimes they're called community workforce agreements. Sometimes they're called project stabilization agreements. They're all the same thing. They're all same, different names for the same thing, a PLA. So that's what it is. Let's talk about a few of the most important terms in a project labor agreement when you are negotiating one of these. And probably the most important issue is what projects are actually going to be covered by the PLA. Sometimes it's not uncommon for project labor agreements to be tied to a certain bond program, where only those projects that are part of the bond program are covered under the PLA. So that would be, that is one option that is very common. Another option is, and you'll see this more often when districts are not familiar with project labor agreements, they haven't used them before, and perhaps they want to have a more limited application. What they'll do is, have it only cover a few specifically listed projects. And then, so that's another way of doing it. Or at the other extreme, you'll see some project labor agreements that have no funding source limitation whatsoever. So that's the funding source scope is one aspect of this. And another is almost always, these projects carve out smaller projects at a certain threshold, such that, for example, every project with a contract price under $500,000 is not included in the project labor agreement. There's some good reasons for doing that, mostly for making sure that smaller contractors have the opportunity to compete for the work. So those are really the most critical terms that we get into. Which projects are going to be covered? Now, if there isn't some funding source limitation, and let's say it is going to cover all projects, then you need to include an expiration date on it. That's usually, in those situations, 3 to 5 years. You rarely see a project labor agreement with a duration longer than 3 to 5 years before the board has to reconsider whether they still want to stay with the agreement and keep it in place. Another term that's important is called core employees. What are we talking about? Well, one of the critical terms in a project labor agreement is that all of the hiring of labor on a PLA-covered project is going to be out of the pertinent union hiring. And that's, again, goes for all laborers. What we've discovered is that contractors will have trouble getting the work done if they can't use some of their higher level experienced laborers. And so what we've worked out is a provision in many of these agreements where the contractor will get to alternate hiring one of his own employees with somebody taken out of the union hall up to a certain number of employees. That's usually 5 or 7 employees. And we find that just facilitates the work. It can help the work get done more efficiently because there's better communication on the project by the contractor's workers. Okay. Another key issue that we deal with is career technical training. Almost always, trades councils are willing to provide career technical training to district students who are interested in a career in the construction trades. That consists typically of providing in-service trainings, other vocational services for districts. They'll take them out to job fairs and let them see, get some exposure to how the industry works. And then sometimes we can even get them to agree. We can get the Trades Council to agree to provide priority access to district graduates in the pre-apprenticeship programs, which is definitely a nice thing to have in these agreements when we can get it. And the next provision is something called local hire. What are we talking about? This is the provision that requires that the contractors in hiring workers must prioritize local workers. So each union hiring hall has to prioritize hiring workers who reside within the district boundaries. And it's not a mandatory provision, that's not allowed, but you can have hiring goals in project labor agreements for the hiring of these workers. Honestly, you can have that even without a project labor agreement. You just have a standalone ordinance, but it's not uncommon to see these local hire provisions in project labor agreements. And another issue is project labor agreements require somebody to coordinate the work and make sure that project labor agreement is being complied with and that all this hiring aspect of the project is going according to the agreement. That person is typically hired by the district, and one issue we try to negotiate is to get the Trades Council to at least pay for part of the services of that PLA coordinator. So That's also an important issue. So those are really the big major terms that we're getting into. We're talking about the scope of the agreement, we're talking about core employees, we're talking about the term of the agreement, and we're talking about local hire. Those are the things we'll spend a lot of time on. So if the district is considering a project labor agreement, one thing it should do is inform its Citizens Bond Oversight Committee that it is doing this, and give them an opportunity to opine on the subject. Citizens Bond Oversight Committees, of course, are responsible for reviewing all expenditures on the bond, anything that's cost related. So the reason we asked the CBOC to opine is because one of the, frankly, central issues of debate in project labor agreements is whether they're adding costs to your construction or not. So CBOCs like to be informed that this is going on. They like to be given the opportunity to weigh in. Once you've done that, then you can contact the Trades Council and initiate negotiations. Finally, how long does it take to get a project labor agreement completed? Usually this is done in 2 to 3 meetings with the Trades Council. There's sometimes the Trades Council members of the various trades like to be present. That creates logistical problems. But generally speaking, you can get a project labor agreement approved in a period of about 2 to 3 months. And that is what I have for you. And again, apologize for not being able to give you the visual. Apparently, we're a comedy of technical errors.
No, that's okay. Thank you. We appreciate that, Glenn. And we appreciate your previous presentations as well. So I think we feel comfortable with that. As the board prepares any discussion or questions at this time, we will go ahead and actually have one comment that has been added here on this particular topic. So we'll go ahead and invite our speaker, Jose Amador, on this topic. And then we'll proceed with board discussion after the comment.
Good evening. First of all, I want to say thank you for all the school board members, presidents, and staff for having this on the agenda and discussions, and we're hoping that we can proceed forward and see what happens next in the next meeting or so. And Glenn, I got to give him all the due respect. He touched on every single topic of the importance of this PLA, but I prefer to call it Community and Student Workforce Agreement, because at the end of the day, overall, as he just touched on a lot of the important topics, is local hire. I can share with you that when I graduated back in '99, I had no idea what the hell I wanted to do after high school. And I know that a lot of our students here today are still in the same boat. And we're all about education, obviously, but college nowadays is getting way too expensive, especially with everything in reality, what goes on in life right now. It's tough for all those students there today. And now as school board members, obviously we want to do the best we can to educate them and show them a path that will not get them just a job, but a career. And as Glenn touched on, as I said, I prefer to call it Community and Student Workforce Agreement because it benefits the local hire, as he mentioned, for veterans and those students that for myself, I had no idea that unions existed or any of these trades. This PLA will open the doors for all trades, not just the carpenters. I have my brothers and sisters here today that it's changed a lot of their lives as well. I can tell you, as I said, I was one of those individuals right after high school, got into the trades by pure accident, 25 years into it. Back in my days, I remember there was ROP classes. I don't know if those exist or what they're called today. I had to choose between auto mechanics or wood shop. And I did a lot of mechanics in the garage with my dad. And I said, you know what, I did all the basic stuff. I don't think I need any more training. I know the basic stuff. So I went with wood shop. Here I am today, 25 years later, and I'm a union carpenter. And I think one of the goals that we all continue here on a daily basis is to try to achieve the American dream. And 25 years in the trade, I have my wife, I got 2 daughters. They're both going to college. Actually, one finished. I got 1 more to go. And I was able to provide that for them. Healthcare, especially you guys know that in 2020, healthcare was the most important topic when COVID hit. And healthcare is very important nowadays, how expensive it is. So we able to provide all that. And if you as school board members, you can provide that opportunity for those students who's willing to join any trade. We prefer the carpenters, but I just hope that you guys can consider and bringing this in the next meeting or so and have these conversations. But I can share with you, as I said, it's changed my life, as many of our brothers and sisters here today. We offer a 4-year apprenticeship program, state certified. Carpenters are well skilled to build in our city. And if we live in our city, we should be able to work in our city. And we want to be able to provide those opportunities for those students as well. And just in the local residents in the city and those veterans as well. As Glenn mentioned, local hire, that's the key point right there. So as I said, thank you all for your hard work and dedication. And I'm looking forward to hear your comments and what goes next. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Amador.
I'm gonna leave my business card too, by the way, if you guys have any questions. Thank you again.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go ahead and have any discussion or questions from the board. Mr. Peterson.
I do have a question regarding the PLA. Like, who's responsible for ensuring the compliance of the terms within the PLA?
Can you reiterate the points about compliance on the PLA and the responsibility of who holds that compliance?
Sure. So, like I mentioned earlier, there's somebody who coordinates all the hiring on the project labor agreement. Typically, it's somebody who is, if the district has a construction management firm that is managing a bond program, that person will serve in that capacity. Sometimes it's just a third-party consultant. But there is a person who is hired and charged with that responsibility of making sure that there is compliance with the agreement with the hiring and making sure it's all going appropriately.
Great. Additional comments or questions? Mrs. Flores?
I'd like to welcome our carpenter partners here, and I'm proud to say that 10 years ago, I worked with Ted Jimenez, who is now retired, to bring the carpentry apprenticeship program to our adult ed. So I'm proud to say that Isaac Gonzalez, who graduated in 2026, who's my son's best friend, started classes. He didn't know what he was going to do, but he started classes, and now he's finished a few more courses, but he is well on his way to being part of the apprenticeship program. So I've seen it in action. The program works. And I really hope that we get more information to our students. So please come to our career days. Please share your wisdom and your experience. So thank you. And this has been a long time coming. I'm a supporter of community hiring agreements, project labor agreements, and really support our labor partners. So thank you for being here tonight.
Additional comments or questions? Mrs. McGuire.
Thank you all for joining us this evening. I am a proud supporter of the apprenticeship program. I think as many people know, my mom's participation in a trade program actually changed our lives when she became a welder after getting divorced and was a proud UAW member. We are a proud labor family for that reason. I am very, very interested in ensuring, just as passionate as I am about students going to college, I am also very passionate about the students who choose maybe not to go to college or not to go to college immediately, have a pathway into meaningful work so they can have a fulfilled life. And as I've shared before, it also doesn't mean you can't later go to college, right? We want to make sure that our kids have all the pathways that they need to be successful. So I am very, very interested in the pre-apprenticeship program and figuring out how we can work that out in our district.
Mr. Peterson.
Yeah, thank you for being here and representing your union. As a law enforcement officer, I was a union guy forever. And now as a teacher, I'm a career technical education teacher. And some of my students, and one in particular, he just graduated, and he's a welder because of what was offered through the workforce program. So I've seen it in real life, how it happens for these kids now, because you're right, not everyone's gonna go to college right away, but they have options. So thank you for all what you're doing and working towards our kids. Thank you.
Any additional comments or questions? All right, well, I think as we've heard tonight, the process of entering into a community workforce agreement or project labor agreement is something that may take perhaps months. And as we are aware on this board, we did pass a resolution in June for a bond measure, which does mean that we may be anticipating significant work within our district. So I think it would be timely now for us as a board to be able to decide whether this is something we'd like to be able to take action on at a future meeting to allow for the district to be able to enter into the process of at least creating an agreement that then the board can potentially take action on in the future. And based on comments from my colleagues here, it sounds like that's the direction we'd like to move in. Okay, all right. So it sounds like, yes, Dr. Kim, we're going to go ahead and direct the district to begin the process of exploring that, to create an item for us at a future meeting.
Absolutely. Glenn, thank you so much for your assistance this evening, and we'll certainly be in touch.
Sounds good. Thank you, everybody.
And, President.
Mrs. Flores?
Dr. Aguilar, can we change the name to Community and Student Workforce Hiring Agreement?
Certainly, we can have the district, explore as these names are equal, but yeah, we can look at that for a future item. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. That will move us now to our action items for this evening. Our first action item under Business Services, we have a resolution to designate district authorized representatives to the Department of General Services. Do we have a motion?
So moved?
Thank you, Mrs. Flores. Do we have a second? Second by Mr. Peterson. Sorry, I had his hand up there. I'm listening and watching sometimes. All right. Comments or questions from the board? Seeing no comments or questions from the board, we'll go ahead and call for the vote. We'll begin with Mr. Rose.
Yes.
Mr. Peterson.
Yes.
Mrs. McGuire.
Yes.
Mrs. Flores.
Yes.
And I am also a yes. That item will pass 5-0. I'll move us to Ed Services Resolution for Red Ribbon Week to be October 23rd through October 31st. Do we have a motion? Mrs. McGuire, I saw her hand there. So I'll take the motion from Mrs. McGuire, and I'll go ahead and take the second from Mrs. Flores. Is that all right?
Yes, thank
All
you.
right, seconded by Mrs. Flores. Comments or questions from the board? Okay, seeing none, we'll go ahead and call for the vote. We'll begin with Mr. Rose.
Yes.
Mr. Peterson?
Yes.
Mrs. McGuire?
Yes.
Mrs. Flores?
Yes.
And I am also a yes. That item will pass 5-0. That'll bring us to our resolution for the District of Choice entering in for the year 27-28. Do we have a motion? Moved by Mr. Rose. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Peterson. Any comments or questions on that one? Seeing no comments or questions, we'll go ahead and call for the vote. Mr. Rose.
Yes.
Mr. Peterson.
Yes.
Mrs. McGuire.
Yes.
Mrs. Flores.
Yes.
And I'm also a yes. That item will pass 5-0. Bringing us to Human Resources, Certification of Management Personnel assigned to evaluate teachers. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. McGuire,
Second?
seconded by Mrs. Flores. And do we have any comments or questions? Seeing none, we'll call for the vote. Mr. Rose?
Yes.
Mr. Peterson?
Yes.
Mrs. McGuire?
Yes.
Mrs. Flores?
Yes.
And I am also a yes. Item will pass 5-0. This will bring us to the credential waiver for our school psychologists. Do we have a motion?
So moved?
Moved by Mrs. Flores. Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Mr. Peterson. And any comments or questions on that one?
I do have a question.
Yes, Mr. Peterson.
How long is the waiver for?
It's for the year, but we don't anticipate it needing it longer than 4 to 6 weeks while the credential is being cleared.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Mrs. Flores.
Is it still challenging to find school psychologists?
This is somebody who was, surprisingly enough, an intern for us as a school psych, and now she's graduating on Sunday, but her credential doesn't get cleared for 4 to 6 weeks. So it's somebody that we know already well.
Seeing no additional comments or questions, we'll go ahead and call for the vote. Mr. Rose?
Yes.
Mr. Peterson?
Yes.
Mrs. McGuire?
Yes.
Mrs. Flores?
Yes.
And I am also a yes. We'll pass 5-0. And that will bring us to our consent calendar. Do we have any items to be pulled this evening? Okay, seeing no items to be pulled this evening, we'll go ahead and ask for a motion to bring the consent calendar as is. Do we have a motion? Moved by Mr. Peterson. Do we have a second? Seconded by Mrs. Flores. And we'll go ahead and move on with the vote. Mr. Rose?
Yes.
Mr. Peterson?
Yes.
Mrs. McGuire?
Yes.
Mrs. Flores?
Yes.
And I am also yes. The consent calendar will pass 5-0. Okay, wonderful. And that will now bring us to our board comments. We'll go ahead and begin with Mr. Rose.
Thank you. Yeah, I know we didn't have a board meeting in July, so welcome back. And school's already started. Welcome back, teachers and classified staff, management staff. We're off to a good start. Keep it up. Stay healthy. We're going to work together, make it happen. Hopefully have an impact on the student. The choice that you made, I think, be curious. I think that what the theme for this year. Yeah, curious. Hoping the students be asking a lot of questions throughout the school years. Be open. We should encourage students to be more open. You know, I'm hoping that teachers will be listening to them, sharing feedbacks, come up with the idea. Each kid had a dream. They could do it one way or the other. I know we did have a school board meeting during the month of July. I just want to share one thing about the 4th of July. It was America's 250th anniversary, and I'm proud to say that I am a direct descendant of 3 6th grade grandparents who were involved in the Revolutionary War. Not directly, but indirectly involved. Quickly, I'll give you a sample. One with he was young, between the ages of 16 and 19, around. We don't have exact records of how old he was involved in the war, but he was a runner. Because of his age, he became a runner. Doing exactly what, we don't know, but the assumption with blanket, food, bread, drinks, water, especially water, but, you know, they played a vital role, you know, increased the morale among the troops there. The other two were really interesting, I'm going to say. The other two, husband and wife in North Carolina. The husband was the delegate of the North Carolina Continental Congress, and he was involved in communicating to the community on safety and manners, whatever that title. I'd let that go because I want to focus on the other individual who happened to be a woman. Yes, women played a vital role during the Revolutionary War. My 6th grade grandmother became a spy. Became a spy and went to the town with gathering information on military equipment, men, etc., by selling. At the same time, she was selling eggs to the people there, while at the same time gathering information on the military and garrisons, fort, etc. And she bring back the information to the colonists, and they came up with a military plan and defeated. I don't know how to pronounce it. Tortoise. It means that the citizen loyal to the British, Britain. Tortoise, T-O-R-I-S-T, whatever. So my great grandmother played a role, and I'm proud of her. You know, it's very good. I just wanted to know that we all should be working together, sharing our belief, sharing our opinion. When we need to be more united in our community. It's difficult at this time when we have social media out there spreading false information, and that can create division in our community throughout the nation. I was hoping that we all be together as Americans. It's tough to be where we are now. Hopefully that we will remain peaceful during the November elections. It's coming up. We don't know what's the end result in Congress, but whatever it is, we should move forward to it. Teachers, keep up the good work. You're going to meet in the community. We have a nice break during the summer and back fresh, ready to go. I know the summer went fast, so to me, it's fast. I can't believe we're here already. Can't believe we have a board meeting tonight. So back to you, Dr. Aguilar. Nice to see you all, board members. Nice to see you.
Thank you, Mr. Rose. Mr. Peterson.
Thank you, sir. Although school's back in session, I can attest that school was in session all summer long. It was busy at the high school, especially summer school, middle school. I think also at Cedar Grove, I believe. That's where all the kids were running around. So although some of us had the time off, a lot of them were still out there working. Like Natalie Cook was in constant contact with all the ASB kids over at Charter Oak, and she was there on a regular basis. You know, the administrators pushing. But now that we're back in session, so to speak, it's somewhat normal again. Kids are already floating around homework and talking about projects, so everything's going well over there. I haven't seen, maybe you know, did Nicole make it back?
She did make it back.
Okay. They went to, the drama program went to Scotland, and there was several flight delays coming back for her and the students, and she had to navigate the airlines to make sure they all got back safely. So I'm glad to hear she made it back and all is well. I had the opportunity to go to Japan over the summer with 40 some odd kids from my high school, and I can tell you traveling with them was not the funnest in the world. It was an experience, enjoyed the trip, but it is a one and done. I'm not going to do that again. I also saw that we had some kids up north at Cisco, and I'm really not sure what that was about. Dr. Kim, can you kind of inform me?
I can actually. This is an experience that was really created at last minute, a field trip that under Dr. Perez's leadership and coordinated through Ed Services, we had the opportunity to send 7 of our scholars from Charter Oak High School up to Cisco headquarters. This is not Cisco, the oil, cooking oil, but Cisco, the networking. That's Crisco? I knew that. I was testing everybody up here to see if they're fully engaged with what I'm sharing. But Cisco, the networking organization, and they toured their facilities. They learned about post-secondary options, whether through a college route or direct to the workforce route, and really proud of that experience. Proud of the fact that we're creating these private-public partnerships, and we're looking forward to more experiences like this for our kids. So kudos to Dr. Perez for waking up at 3:30 in the morning to get on a flight, like way early in the morning. I think it was 5:30 flight. So, and then they came back on the same day.
Thank you, sir. The opportunities our kids are getting is just amazing. So it's just another one. We only have, 8 months more before summertime again? I did see the calendar invites for the graduations, et cetera, so I appreciate appreciate you giving me those so early so I can look forward to something. Other than that, everyone enjoy the school year, stay safe, and appreciate all the work from everybody up here.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson. Mrs. McGuire.
Good evening, everyone. Happy back to school. I attended the back to school rally at the high school for all the teachers, and I wanted to take a moment to say congratulations to everyone who received a certificate, their anniversary celebration. Also reflecting on back to school time, we recently ran into a graduate from last year who is at a university in Illinois, in Aurora, I think she said. And she shared with us that even though she started college last year, she only has 2 years left because of the units she received in the IB program at our high school. So her family was about to embark on this road trip because she needs her car her next 2 years of college. And she was just saying how excited she was to come home. And even though she was extremely homesick, she won't have to stay away for 4 years. And I thought that was a really great testament to the types of students that we're able to put out into the world, earn their degrees, and then come back. They're excited to come back. Also a moment of reflection. This time last year I was crying because it was time for me to drop off my own child. And now I am crying waiting to take her back. So I'm all right now. You know, I was real sad last year. I'm excited about the possibilities in our district, the presentation we received today for the PLA. As I stated, it is important to me that we prepare our students for whatever path they choose to take. So this is a great step in ensuring that we can continue to create more workforce pathways for them. And then lastly, I think I'll close a little bit piggybacking off of Mr. Rose when we talk about false information and misinformation. I think this is the time of year where it's really important that as we strive for more transparency, we also work to ensure that the information that we speak about is accurate. So I just wanted to take a moment to say, while we heard big numbers like $750,000 policy, that is not the amount of money the district is paying. And also we did look at several contracts for superintendents, and it actually is common practice to get a life insurance policy for the superintendent to help safeguard in the horrible event that anything happens to Dr. Kim. And we hope that, you know, we're paying the small amount of money and never have to cash in on it. But I do think as we have communications with each other and we share information publicly, that we share accurate information. So I just wanted to take some time and do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. McGuire. Mrs. Flores?
Welcome back. It's back to school time, and I want to thank our great teachers that are here. Ms. Walton and Ms. Hopstein, thank you for being here and for your public comment as well. We appreciate your participation, so thank you. This is the first time in almost 20 years that I don't have a student in this district, so bittersweet, but also grateful because this district has provided for our family, for my children. My oldest will receive her doctorate in pharmacy next May, so you know, because of all of you and your commitment, so thank you for that. Let's have a great year. And I want to also thank Dr. Aguilar for doing a great job as our president. Lori Michelson keeps us all together. Dr. Kim, Dr. Bond, Dr. Mustafa, and welcome, Dr. Deanda. So thank you all. Let's have a great year.
Thank you, Mrs. Flores. Yes, I have a few comments myself. So yeah, the welcome back breakfast was excellent. Thank you, Dr. Kim, for a great kickoff and for bringing and introducing to the world this amazing comedic talent we have in 4th grade at one of our sites. So we all got to be entertained by a really great routine. And that was awesome. Very polished, very good. So yeah, it was exciting. We're so happy to be back, and the students, I think, are too. So far, everyone I've seen has big smiles all over social media and everything. So that's really been exciting for everybody. As Mr. Peterson mentioned, the drama program was in Scotland. They had a little bit of challenge getting back, but they all pulled it off. They also got excellent reviews for their production of Crybaby. I got a chance to catch Crybaby right before they took it on the road to Scotland. And it was awesome when I saw it, and they were only better, I'm sure, than that with another week or so of rehearsal. And so they did a really amazing job, as they have for us in the past in Scotland. So great job representing our district there to the drama program. Also had a chance over the summer, again, as we've alluded to, the summer, it may be a break for a lot of people from the teaching itself, but there's so much other work that's being done, including some of the teaching. I got a chance to visit a nutrition services workshop that was held at in Irwindale at the Southern California Edison campus that they have there. And so several of our staff were from nutrition services were there receiving some education in the process of cooking scratch-cooked meals and whatnot. And I know we've had some board study sessions on that particular topic in the past. And it's really awesome to see the amazing work and progress that's being done through the nutrition services. And that's been great too. Looking forward to some tasty meals down the road. They are already tasty, but also some scratch-cooked tasty meals down the road. And then lastly, I also have another point of information for our board. So we passed our bond resolution in June, and at the time when we pass a resolution, there is no name for any particular measure. That's something that the county actually decides. And the time for the county to decide has now come and gone, and our bond measure in the Charter Oak District is titled Measure S. Which I think is pretty fitting. You know, when we passed the bond resolution, a lot of the priority project lists that we had identified there, of course, are centered around the student experience, and safety that we want to really make sure we are keeping in mind for all of our students across our sites, and other priorities such as STEAM education, right, that were identified in that particular bond resolution. So I think that's pretty fitting. I had a chance, I was invited to a campaign event for Measure S, and it was great to see the community present there. A lot of individuals from the community were very interested in that particular measure. So it'll be interesting to continue to keep abreast of any information there as we move forward. And with that, we will go ahead and announce our future meeting will be September 17th, 2026. We don't require any closed session, and so we will adjourn this particular meeting right now at 8:03, but don't go too far. We have one more quick meeting right after that, so this meeting is now adjourned at 8:03 p.m. Now we will go ahead and open our annual meeting of the Charter Oak Unified School District Financing Corporation here at 8:04 p.m. Okay. We don't have any particular work to be done in this meeting. Without any questions or comments, we'll go ahead and close our meeting of the District Financing Corporation here at, I don't know if I have enough seconds to wait till 8:05. Yeah, we can. Yeah. Still going. Hold everyone in anticipation. It does take longer when you watch the clock. That's a rule of physics. There we are. We will go ahead and adjourn the meeting of the District Finance Corporation at 8:05 p.m.